All right, so we are going live right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and first double check that we are live and click on my channel, refresh it. All right, guys, we are live again. So I'm gonna go ahead and resume my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So awesome. So we're live again on YouTube with our session that we have started with KevTech channel and other IT members. This is a part of this remote IT skills training. And each training is basically kind of like 1 hour, 2 hour, and it's basically we're teaching everything that we usually teach in our live training. But this is going to be more of like a little bit of a summarish type of thing. We're not going to go extreme detail in this training. But if you are wondering, you want to see, okay, this person is talking about Active Directory. How did he create a domain controller? All that stuff, you got to watch the first video. That's 4 hours videos. So we cannot redo all that stuff again. So this is my first thing, because a lot of people start in the beginning and it's like complaining, man, how did you even do this stuff? So you got to go back. This is where we're doing all this stuff. And on the side, KevTech is also creating a kind of like response videos to these videos. So those videos will be added to our playlist, right? KevTech, you're doing that, right? I think you did one today.
That is correct.
Awesome. So, okay, guys. So first I want to start, because I promised someone that I'm going to do a review on a resume. I just hope I picked the right. Okay. Sometimes you're like, you don't want to pick the original one with the name and everything. So here you go. We got the resume, but let me give you a little background on this. Hello, everyone on YouTube. So this resume has a little background. We were chatting in the morning. I was in KevTech channel live, and one of a individual came and said that my resume is pretty good. I'm getting calls, but it's not IT related calls. So what I want you guys to focus on this thing. This is the resume that I am, let's say I'm an HR manager. I want to make a story for my members today that we're going to do live training. Let's say today I tell my members that we are going to be hiring a new person. Just like we did in our last session, we hired a new person and we gave the laptop, and he's working in Canada. He got successfully started with our company, added to our domain, and he is now working with us. Now I'm saying that I need to hire a help desk in UK. We're going to UK, guys, today. Let's take a flight today. Wear your masks and everything. Let's go to UK. But today I am hiring a brand new entry-level help desk personnel, right, for my company. And this is something that I can say, like, I told my HR manager that, look, I'm just looking for a person with a high school degree. And there you go. There's a job right there. I'm just looking for a high school degree, but please find me someone who have a little bit of knowledge about IT, or that person is a little bit of they're interested in IT, right? So then what happened is that let me convert this into this person. Then let's say saw this job, and then he or she applied to this position, and this is the resume that I received from my HR manager. Now, by looking at this resume, where do you see that this person is qualified for this job? Because the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm not going to be interested in objective right now. I'm interested in a person who have a little bit skills right here, right? So if, Kevin, you are an IT professional, by looking at these skills, where do you really think that this has to do something with IT right now? Like this doesn't, to me, it doesn't click anything to me. What do you think, Kev?
Well, I thought you were applying for a job as a receptionist.
Okay, so guys, when we are like, telling something to you, or we say something, don't take it personally, by the way. This is to help everybody right here. And if we don't say things directly, then you're going to think that I can get away with this stuff. So here's the first thing. You are telling people that I'm applying for a help desk position right here, entry-level help desk position, while you are losing my interest by looking at the skills. I'm not seeing anything that has to do with help desk. Now, this stuff right here, everybody knows communication skills. I know that. Even a baby person knows that, who wants to go to a job, they know that. But you gotta do a little bit better than that these days. Why is that? Because there's so many people that are applying for jobs. And today I'm gonna introduce you to the people who can verify that this type of resumes are not gonna help them. You need more than that, because they get calls. They are in your position, but they have understand and they have acknowledged one thing, that they need more than this. So that's why they're either taking free trainings, they're following channels, they're following suggestions, they're doing everything that they can. So if I go down, maybe I'll read your stuff, but I don't have time to read all this stuff right now. I'm only interested in his skills, and then I'm going to go quickly down. Sometimes I want to see what this person education. Look how you put your A+ in there. I mean, that doesn't look good. Like you just put your certification and you just drop A+ in there without nothing, in no time or no certification type, like, you know, that you have done it this time, or maybe code or anything. You didn't impress people here. Now let me show you a resume that looks like an IT resume. Now look at this one. If I pick up this resume, that's where you call an IT resume. This is where you are grabbing attention. Like as soon as I see this, I'm okay. Ticketing, Office 365, level 1 troubleshooting, Active Directory, and stuff like that. You see, you're hitting the points right there. So why is this so important to have an IT resume look like that? Because everybody who are doing a research are going for jobs and they do a little bit of research more than you, they're going to have a resume like that. So compared to this resume, how can you stand a chance? Now, if you luckily stand a chance and they give you the job, perfect. But then after that, of course, you're going to be in the second dilemma that how do I learn these skills? Okay, I got away with my very basic resume, but I'm stuck now right now. I mean, even these people are expecting, here's a problem in our society, in this current market and this whole mentality these days. Here's the problem. An HR person or IT person who's going to be hiring you, they do not know that Active Directory kind of stuff, Office 365 kind of stuff is not a part of your A+ certification. They have done A+ certification when we were babies, right? Kev, these are the people, they are in business in IT for 25 years. They do not know, they know that, okay, they're working in this environment, they are working in Active Directory, so they automatically or naturally think all of these skills are a part of these type of certification. And when you as a new person go for these jobs, you think that that's not a part of my skills. I'm just going to put A+ and I'm going to get away with that. No, it's not working these days. Guys, we got to make it a little better these days. We are in competition with a lot of people out there. So they are doing their research. They are making their resume look good. They are learning these skills. And then this is where you're countering that skills part. I'm not going to go through that again because I've talked about this so many times, but here you go. Your answer is this. From my perspective, from my 13 plus of experience, I will not pick up your resume. I will not call you. Why? Because I got better resume than yours. So you need, the reason I'm saying so straightforward, that's the reality. Kev, what do you think about that?
I want a resume that actually stands out, and I want someone that doesn't lie in their resume and knows what they're talking about.
Exactly. So when these people today that you are going to see or you're going to hear, these are the people who went through all of this stuff and they have learned it. And if you have not learned it, this video that we're making, we have almost covered more than 6 hours of training online. So all of this stuff, almost 70% to 60% at some point will be covered. Probably 40% is already covered in our channels. So I just don't know how you cannot go through this stuff and not put that on your resume. That's going to be a mistake from my end. That's what I will say to you. But if you look at it on the bottom, I missed the whole qualification part because everybody have a qualification. They have to put it right here. So let me go down. This is how the certification of our training looks like. You see how targeted this is, how mentally people are getting impressed with this. There's a code they can verify, and then there is a name of that certificate of the course too. So now let me bring out some of the people that have used this resume. I'm going to call out to Rajan first because Rajan have experienced this today. Rajan, how do you use this resume? Let us know about the experience you have with this type of resume. Are you there, Rajan?
Hello?
Yeah, Rajan, so we would like to know, do you have used this resume? What do you think about this resume?
Yeah, this resume, I always tell you, this is something magical because whenever I use this resume, I got every time call, and also today also I had one interview and actually they got 105 resume and among the 105 resume, they shortlisted 3 resume and okay, I was one of them.
So out of
And
105
also,
resume,
yeah,
Mr. Rajan got picked because of the resume. And somebody, the last time when you applied to a university
the
position,
last time also, yeah, one staffing company told me that your resume is very good because she sent 12 resume and they picked only 2 from that. So
okay,
that time also I was thinking about this resume, and so this is something magic. Because whenever I apply with this resume, I surely get calls. That's for sure.
yeah. So it's not that he's just putting this resume out. Rajan have done his training right there. So, and I'm not saying any name, but I'm sure you're listening to us right now. So I respected your privacy, so I didn't say any name, nothing like that. So if you want to keep your privacy, definitely keep your privacy. So here you go. This is the template. If you want to get it from us, or this template is not bad, by the way. I like this template because it's very clean, the one that you're using. But the problem is your skills area. Change your skills area. Put some Active Directory stuff in there. Put some Office 365 stuff in there. And then on the bottom, you know, the certification area, make it a little bit better. Maybe put some labs in there if you are not taking our courses. Maybe you can put like, I'm taking a VirtualBox training, whatever, you know, whatever. I'm the Udemy training. I'm sure you're not gonna lie, but take some training. Take some training. Put whatever you want to put. Free training. Hey, Job Skillshare have 100+ hours of a title-based training. You could put Job Skillshare training like help desk technician course and in progress. You don't even have to get a certificate from us. You don't have to pay anything. 100+ hours of thing you can put it. Like for example, you can come over here and you can put the whole help desk like this technician, and then in progress. Now you see how you're impressing people with these titles. That's how you do it, okay?
And also, Danish, I want to add one more thing.
Uh-huh.
See, before actually my resume was actually I added so many things to my resume, and actually some guys actually misled me, and they told that
Some guy
you should.
told you that you're going to be making $120,000. Use this resume, and it had more the DevOps engineer. You were like a network engineer. You could
Yeah,
connect, sky with another moon or something like this in an IT. I'm sure you put a lot of stuff in there. I told you that, Rajan.
a lot of
I'm
yeah,
like, your
they
resume
used
doesn't make sense.
yeah, I was putting a lot of things, and actually, whenever I get interviewed, they start asking me so many things now, which I don't know.
Okay,
So
so
that's my
for the member that are watching us and basically you're looking at us, here's my suggestion to you. Go to YouTube, go to Job Skillshare, and then click on this playlist, IT Resume Entry Level IT Jobs. I have done an extensive review on 6 resume that had a very different type of things in there. So Jerry L, welcome. And if anyone wants to become a part of this live training, you can go to the community, click on the community right here on the Job Skills Share, and then here's the link. So go ahead and click on this link, and you will be joining this training. But what I want you and warn everybody that do not turn your camera on if you don't want to be on the live. This video will not be taken down. So this is the warning for everybody. Hey Jerry, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay. So let's get started with our training now, because I wanted to start with the resume first, and now we're going to get into a training. But anyway, at the end, I'm going to also ask Rahal to share his experience. He just submitted a resume, I think a week ago, and he started getting a calls like 2 days ago. And tomorrow he's going for an interview. So this is what we're talking about. When you put something, you know how to answer your questions, and this is how you get interviews. Direct, targeted. That's it. This is like you're basically focused, right? So now let's get started, guys. Let's go ahead and let's talk about our scenario right here. Yesterday, we have created a domain controller, and then we have created a VPN server, and then locally here, we had a laptop from Canada that we have given to a person, and they got connected to our network. So now we are gonna add a new machine to that domain controller. So if somebody have done this and watch this video, and the first thing we want to talk about in this training is Active Directory, and adding a machine to a domain is a part of your Active Directory skills as a help desk. So you can see now our training is not becoming Azure training, it's becoming more of a help desk training. We're getting into that zone to just get deep inside the help desk skills right now, okay? So if you guys remember, the first thing what we need to do in our laptop from UK, because this is a local machine. It's not going to know anything about our domain controller in the cloud. So what do we need to do first? We need to put a correct host name, right? You guys remember that, right? So JSS demo. And how do I verify this from here? I'm going to go ahead and open my VPN server. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So JSS demo 3 softether.net. JSS demo 3.soft. And while I do this, guys, you guys can talk to each other. You can ask questions. I mean, I don't know. You can do. So, you know, one thing I noticed about this VPN thing, one thing I noticed about this VPN, when you put a correct host name, you see it drop down all of the virtual, man, I forgot virtual what? The virtual environment that we have created for each department, right? So we're gonna click on VPN here, and then we're gonna use that username and then the password. I'm not even, sometimes I don't think correctly. I may be doing wrong stuff right there. Okay, so password is definitely wrong. So let's go ahead and correct that. Okay, so the first thing, we have started to having issue with a username and password. This is a great example. I'm having an issue right now with my username and password. So where do I go in Active Directory? If somebody asks you that I'm having an issue with my password, I forgot my password. I'm not logged out yet. I forgot my password. Where do I go to fix this issue? Anyone?
Users in Active Directory.
Users in Active Directory. So where do I go in Domain Controller?
That's right. Users.
Okay. And then go here to users.
You can click the right. Oh yeah, you can click right of the mouse.
Right click on it and then go to do what? Reset. And I'm going to type a password, right? So then of course you can give a user, usually in most cases, by the way, we're in Active Directory training right now from the start. So in most cases, a lot of technicians are given a temporary password. Like, you have to use some kind of temporary password, because then what you want to do? You want to force them to change the password. You don't want to be giving a generic password so they can use it for next 90 days. That's not a proper way, right? If somebody asks you in an interview, what would be the proper way to reset a password? You should add this line in there. I would reset, I would right click on the user, but then I will make sure, I will make sure to check the box to change the password the next login. Now, why would you talk like this? If you're brand new and you're getting that job that they say that you need 1 year experience or 6 months of experience, how can you impress this person with talking like this? When you say, I will check that box, right? Now you see a brand new person who is A+ certified coming out of the college, they will not be able to talk like this, right? This is something that a technician will tell you to talk like this, and then you're impressing people. So like if you're giving an interview, you see how you can impress. There's a little, and the reason I want you guys to focus with this wording right here. I will right click on the user, I will click on reset password, and I will make sure that they check the first box to change their password that next logon. So that tells me as an IT manager that I'm taking an interview from you, man, I don't need to ask you more questions now. If it was another basic question, I will drop it down. And maybe I'll say, oh yeah, tell me about the bikes that you ride, and I'll just totally change my interview. So you see, sometimes you impress people so much that they drop their script. That's what we do. That's what you want to impress them so much that they drop their script. Like it doesn't look good as an IT manager for me then after that to ask you what is IP config, right? Because you have already went inside and you have told me something that I like to hear, right? I'm seeing it every day, or I'm experiencing it every day. So you basically touched me inside. That's what I'm trying to, my wording today is very emotional right now, like touch me inside and this. But in this scenario, we're not going to do that because I want to fix something, right? We're going to come back to this again. I mean, the guys who have took this live training, trust me, I'm not going to help you. You guys should know this. Okay, so we're going to come back over here and we're going to try it again now. We're going to connect. And let's do it one more time. Man, it's still not working. Why? Am I doing something wrong here? Or my fingers are fat again.
You typing it too fast.
I guess so. I hate when. The heck? We're already having issues, guys. Okay, let's go back. Properties. You see, one thing, it already tells me that this is working correctly because it's prompting for username and password. But why this is not taking my password is another thing. So why is that? Did we do? You know, one thing, some things that I do is like I go back to these machines and I start changing around things, and then I'm like, I forget like one of my other things that I'm doing. So here, we got the account which is Dcon right here, which is correct. Everything is looking correct, and I'm gonna right click on here. Maybe when I was changing the password, maybe I did some mistake in my own password by changing it. So maybe I'm just using. Oh, you know, hold on. I think I know what my problem is. Anybody who's watching us live, you guys are also welcome to give us suggestions or ask questions. And I think Kevin is also pretty busy over there. So definitely you guys can do that because that's what makes it fun, you know?
Yeah, I'm just replying to people in the chat box as you're talking.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on.
Is the host name correct?
Yeah, the host name is sure it's connecting. It's connecting to the VPN server. It's just not taking that connection. So let's do something to work on this. Let's go ahead and delete this guy. No, not this one. Let's go back to the domain controller. Let's go ahead and delete this, hub. Somebody asked that, is this allowed to use in a enterprise level? If you go to online and search for how many people are using soft Ethernet, you will be amazed. But it's not at the level at Cisco AnyConnect. That's little, I would say that's more enterprise version. This is for people who love open source kind of stuff, right? And this is not going to be allowed if you go to a company and say, I want to put a soft Ethernet in my company. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, most like the company I work for, they all use Cisco. It's a Cisco workshop with the phones and everything, call manager and Cisco
yeah, because
VPN.
those are full-blown solutions, like a hardware. It comes with a ASA and everything like this. This is something that you want to do so unique, and you want to maybe at certain level you may have your own business if you want to run. So you could come up with your own solutions to build something. So that's why a lot of developers and programmers use something like this to make it easy for them to connect different type of clouds, and then they can deploy their solutions out there.
But this is still good to know because you could explain it on a job interview.
100%. And on the reason we use this is not another reason. It generates so many help desk type of call, like what we're doing right now, from using a system. So it doesn't matter what you use, you're learning the same skills that's required. Because when we work in IT and I have to go to a new company, I know 30 to 40% from my skills because I have used different systems. And then the rest, I get into their systems and start learning, right? That's how we become more experienced, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now I'm adding a new username and a password here. I'm just gonna make it very simple. Oh my God, I was doing such a big mistake. Okay, I'll tell you guys what I did. I'll tell you. It's so stupid when sometimes you're doing something and you realize like, wow, okay, I was doing this. I'll tell you right now. Let's go back. Let's go to properties. I don't know if someone can point my mistake by looking at the screen.
Password?
Password is a part of it, but I'll tell you what. How did that get connected? So Kev, I was not using Active Directory account. And in my mind, I was thinking I'm using Active Directory. The VPN, we created another extra accounts for these. That's nothing to do with Active Directory. And you see how your focus is not there, and I'm using the same account, so I made it even more confusing. I thought Dcon is an Active Directory, but we made a VPN with a local account. So here you go. You got another good example right here. That are you dealing in the Windows environment? Are you dealing with a laptop that's the account that you're logged in, is it a part of Active Directory? Because sometimes people will log in with their local admin account and they're going to start doing like RSAT. They're going to try to download Active Directory on it, and it never works, right, Kev? Because that Active Directory has to talk back to Active Directory domain controller. But if you go as a local admin, it's going to give you that red X. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand, right? So this is a perfect example I wanted to show with my live members, because I know a lot of the live members, I trick them with this one thing. I create a same name on the machine, and I create the same name as a help desk in Active Directory. Then I tell them, go ahead and download RSAT. So sometimes a lot of people are watching my videos, they forget this, and they start downloading it on a local account. And then they start calling me. That, hey, I can get the RSAT that the way you did it. I'm like, okay, look at your account. They surely logged into as a local account. That's why it doesn't work. So you gotta definitely make sure that you're logging in as an Active Directory account. So here we have successfully created a connection, but remember, in our training, we have to make what? We have to make a DHCP, and we have to make that stuff going on. That's something you don't want to put too much time on this. So let me just do this quickly, okay?
No, I'm laughing because someone was having an issue with their printer. Like, I can't print from my computer, and they were logged in remotely, and the printer is in the office, and the printer is in the office, and they're trying to do it from their house. So I'm laughing.
So guys, we have basically given this server and a permission to you are the DHCP. Go ahead and give the IP address to that machine, and go ahead and when that person connects, then you can say that this is an IP address. You can connect to my network. So right now, what we have done so far, we went and told that person in UK that you can do this process, so you can connect to it at least. We're not done yet, because Active Directory is still going to be in place right now. So that the first skill that you learn is what? You know how to now connect a VPN, right? VPN back to the server. This is exactly the call you're going to get in your company from any connect, from any different type of things. They're going to call you that, how do I connect my VPN? This is how you do it, okay? So VPN kind of questions in interview, this is how you do VPN. Not the server part, the desktop part, okay? So any questions so far on this, like that? Are you guys getting the idea behind this? Why we're showing you a real application and generating these help desk type of calls? Are you getting it?
Yeah, we got it to the point.
Because it won't make sense if it's not making sense, right? So, okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna disconnect it, and now watch, we're gonna get an IP address, right? There you go, we got the IP address. So we're good to go. So now we have to do another piece that we were struggling yesterday, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to add that domain controller into this network.
Yes, okay.
Now, remember, if somebody's watching us for live for the first time and they're like, wow, what are you doing? You're going to put an IP in a NIC. This is not how you do it. Everything is automated. That's a local network. So if you are thinking like that, don't go crazy. Go back to our 3 hours long video yesterday. And there's something about this. So, remember, we are connecting two different areas, cloud with a local network. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and go to properties now.
You gotta talk to each other.
We're gonna talk to each other. But for people, if you were to, this is also a part of this training because it has to do with Active Directory. If I have to join this computer to a domain right now, what should I do?
System.
Go to system.
Then we will go for, system info.
System info.
Yeah. Then we will change the domain name.
Change the domain name. Okay.
Change settings.
Oh, okay. We got to do one thing now. Okay, so now
it's in a work group now.
No. This is a good example right here. Attention to details. I want you guys to check on the screen what's happening, because you could definitely come across something like this while you.
Computer name.
Computer name what?
Not the same. The machine name is different.
So if you had this laptop and somebody gave it to you, and let's say I am the technician, and I say, man, I gotta go, man. My kid is crying, and I did this part right now, and now you have to be given the start. Can you join this computer to a domain? What would you do right now?
first I have to check my account name so I can change the computer name.
No. Here's the thing. I got this brand new laptop in my company, and now I was working on it for 5 minutes.
Okay.
I did something by looking at the screen. I have to go home. I was like, Kev or Rahul, I gotta go home. My kid is crying, man. He has to go to hospital. And you have given this, you have to join this computer to a domain. Let me make it easy for you. You have to join this computer domain. What would you do right now?
DNS server?
What would you? I am in a hurry. I was making my changes. I gave you this computer. You got to join this computer domain. What would you do right now by looking at the screen? Look.
So I will add this computer to a work group. Like if I see on the screen, there is a computer name, full computer name, desktop,
Okay.
BNJ, B47J. So I would add that system to this domain.
But what is that? That's telling you that system name. What's that telling you right there?
It needs to restart the
It
computer.
needs to restart.
When you
There
restart
go.
it,
There you go.
yeah.
You see, when you are learning skills and you want to know how we do things, this is exactly what's going to happen to you. You're either going to forget, or you're going to be working on multiple desktops or laptops at the same time, and you're going to start doing things that you're not supposed to do before restarting. So there you go. Perfect example. You should restart this machine because it's asking you to restart, right?
Yep.
So the first thing we should do is to restart this machine. Now, by the way, even if a machine has different type of name, today's Active Directories are smarter enough now. Back in the days, you could not do this. You had to change the machine name and start it again. But now if I even join this to a computer to a domain with a very bad name, I can still make it change, right, Kev? It will still change it. But don't try to do that. That's not a proper way. You want to restart a machine, so let it get the same with the names, SSIDs, and all that kind of stuff. Let it get that nice and smooth. Why would you make it more problem type of machine, right? So restart it, wait, and then let's change it again.
You gotta pay attention to detail though, because it said right there to restart it.
Yep. And what did I say in the beginning, guys? And in my training, what do? Sometimes I say attention to the detail, attention to the documentation. It doesn't say capital, small. It's going to matter a lot. It's going to save you so much time if you just look and focus to it. Okay, that's what it's saying. Let me just restart it. It's just say it right there, like restart it because it's going to change, right? Okay, so these are part of your Active Directory. Why is that? Because we are already working in the Active Directory environment, and it's not just knowing about, okay, let me open Active Directory and just add a user and stuff like that. It's a lot more than that. Active Directory is the core right here, right? That's why in our training, the first thing we teach is what? Most likely Active Directory, right? You guys know that. We started with Active Directory in the beginning, right? Domain controller, right?
Yeah.
So now I need to log into this. Okay, there you go. So you see, Kev, this operating system is running like that, like smooth, right?
Oh yeah, compared to the other one, the other one was like, I thought it was like a trash can.
Kev, so we have a little bit more people, so I'm gonna make you a host just to have a little control in case something happens. Somebody start cussing out in a live.
We will crush you out. You'll be fine.
All right, guys. So we have this right now, and now what do we do after this? Hold on. Let me see. Let me make sure one thing. So Arshad, brother, I stopped your video because you're live on YouTube. So this video does not go down. So make sure this is a little warning for people. If you still want to bring up your video, you're free to do that. Okay. This is just a little warning right there for people who want to join our training. So here you go. We got that part done, and we need to now go back and actually connect it. But remember, if you are following my lab right now and you want to do this UK kind of stuff, then what do you need to do first? You need to connect this VPN, and you need to make sure your VPN is what? Set up to? Startup connection. Because then if you do all these changes, and once you join this computer to a domain, and if you forget your local admin password, then you're done, right? You gotta then hack into this machine, which is something we're not gonna show you right now. That's just too much for you. Okay. Yeah. We can easily break the password of any machine right now. 12. Yeah. That doesn't matter. We can break it.
If you use B drive.
Yeah, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna teach you something that's not for a beginner right now. Right. So, okay, so there you go. We got that connected. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically try to add this machine to what? To a domain. So let's do the same process. Interview question, guys. How do you add a computer to a domain?
First, we'll go to the system, then system info,
Then go where?
change settings.
All right.
So change, yeah.
Domain, right?
Domain, yeah.
So what is our domain name here? Demo.jss.jobskillshare. Jobskillshare.org, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We got an error right now. This is something that we used yesterday. We had all these issues going on.
Yeah. We need to add this to DNS
DNS server.
server.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that first. So first of all, what do I need to do? I need to find the IP address of this because it's a total different addresses going on here, right? It's not the cloud-based addresses. So what is the address right here?
192.168.2.
30.11, right? So this is a system admin job. So in this case, what happened? If you get this message and you're not able to resolve it, this is going to require you to know about a skill of what? If you have to give a call to a sysadmin, what is that skill?
It's
If you
skill?
have a call that you need
Well,
to
higher in the us.
Okay, let me open my resume, guys. So I want to make sure that you guys understand this. Ticketing. There you go. You got it. The first skill of any training in IT should be ticketing, right? You gotta assign this to a sysadmin, so then he has to add this DNS value in his DNS server. But in most cases, like I said, in a local environment, you don't do this kind of stuff. It's automatically gets added because the whole network is created like that to make it easy for you. Because then it'd be a disaster if you had to do this for 300 machines. And you're like, sysadmin, we got to add this IP address in a DNS, another one. The sysadmin will run away. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so now we're going to go and open that. We're going to open this. What do we open to add a DNS, by the way? I'm in a domain controller right now. What should I open?
Network settings.
Panel.
Where should I go?
You can go on the
Administrative panel. Yeah.
Administrator 2. Good job. Where do I go? There.
DNS.
Yes.
How do I add a DNS record, by the way?
So it will be forward lookup zones.
Forward lookup zone. Okay.
Just.
Okay, and then where do I go?
To our domain.
Good job. I go to domain. I'm going to right click here. And look, our Canada person is already in there. That's good for cheating right there. So I'm going to have to add a record. And then what do I need to type over here? Laptop?
the computer name.
Laptop UK.
Yeah.
And what do I need to type? I need to type the IP address, right? 192.168.10. What was that again? So it was not .10, it was 30.
11.
Was it .11? Yeah, okay, good job. So I'm just gonna add the other records too. For now, you guys don't need to worry too much about these records and everything. This is not your job, by the way. But knowing what DNS is definitely can be an interview question guaranteed. What is basically like what is DNS, right? So for that, I recommend you guys go back to my fundamental course, and in that I shared a YouTube channel that explained things visually. They have this animation going on. I'm not sure if Kev, you know about it. There's a channel that's animated something like that, and they make animations about DNS, DHCP. Because I cannot, to be honest, I cannot teach this kind of stuff theoretically. This is like out of my patience, right? Okay, so there you go. I stopped one of the video. So okay, we added this into our DNS right now. So what do? We're gonna go back, and here we're gonna try it again just in case there's one thing we're still missing. We'll have to try it if it works or not right now. Okay. The first thing, what should you do? Like, you should really confirm that did we even put the right name in there, right? First thing, we should do that. So let's go to settings. So laptop UK, does that look good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. we still can't get access to it. So what's going on now? And now the error also changed. Here you go. Another thing we need to do is we need to add that domain DNS, domain IP address in the VPN DNS. Why is that? Because we are on so many different networks that it doesn't even know. Even if you add it, it's like, I don't know. You connected me to a VPN, but I still don't know about that VPN, that DNS server. That's on .10.0.0.0 or something, right? I don't even know about it. So I need to know about it, right? A little bit. So here we're going to go to the Ethernet. And again, guys, if you guys are getting confused with this stuff, honestly, this is not a part of your job. So just try to understand, if you're trying to do my lab, then you need to do all this stuff. That's why I'm doing it. Other than that, I will not be showing you this kind of stuff, okay? Because it doesn't make sense then. Like, we're going too advanced then, okay? So what is the IP address of that domain? Well, if I have to find that out, how can I find it here? I can just ping demo. Wait, that's DC, sorry, demo DC. So
10.0.0.10.
the what?
10.
The 10, there you go. Okay, I'm just gonna
So Danish, you are can you explain this step? What exactly you did? You pinged what I mean
Okay, so for you to connect this machine to our domain controller, now, Gurleen, I think you probably were not a part of yesterday's training.
correct.
But so what happened was that we are connecting a cloud Azure Active Directory, which is going through a gazillion amount of networks out there, right? And we are adding a local machine, which is in what? Where is that? In UK, right? So for these two networks to work together, the first thing is I need to add a VPN in there to make a connection between these two.
Right.
The second thing, I need to make sure that this machine is going through my DNS, which is the domain controller in Azure, because right now this machine is talking to my internal DNS. So I need to tell
Local DNS server.
yes.
Right.
So I need to route this machine not to local. It has to go through that. It has to force itself, basically.
So basically, we are connecting to remote DNS server.
Yes, we are exactly through VPN. Don't forget that.
Right. Right.
So now, if we're gonna go back again to our system here, so what's that demo jss.jobskillshare? It's still not working. So we're doing a mistake right here. Guys, look at it. Where's the mistake?
A name?
It shouldn't be a name right now, because if we come back over here, oh, who got this?
Demo DEC.
Who said
demo
that?
DC.
Demo DC.
Yeah, because we were using a domain from yesterday. It's the same thing. So we're like messing it up right now. Here you go. So
Demo DC.
demo DC, demodc.jobskillshare.org. Is that even correct? How would you even verify even more? Can you open what?
Active Directory.
There you go. If you have to find a net BIOS, where would you go? I'm already showing it to you guys. Come on, net BIOS. If I had to do I have to install an application on a client machine. This is Active Directory question right there. If I have to install an application on a machine for a different user, they don't have admin rights. It's gonna get what? Prompt, right? It's gonna get a prompt. So what would you put in there?
To network, File Explorer, network.
You're gonna be putting this demo DC, which whatever is in there. So a lot of people are using here, they're gonna use like HQ, headquarter, corporate, CORP, very small thing, right? To make it easy for their help desk, and slash that, okay?
Okay.
So, okay, so we got that, this demodc.jobskillshare.org. So now let's go back again and fix this. So one thing you're noticing right now is it's, I would say like more than 50%, it's a human mistake. More than 50%, because you're just not putting the right things in there, right? And most likely in IT, it's like that. So now what happened?
Congratulations, you're in the domain.
There you go. So what, okay, this is a question for the live members. What username can I put over here for this machine to join to the domain?
Admin rights.
Admin. This person has to be a part of what?
Admin group.
Admin group. No.
Admin domain.
This person has to be a part of what? Active Directory.
Domain
Active Directory.
Active Directory.
Okay. So now, guys, what do I put here? That's this username has to be in my Active Directory. So first of all, I gotta see if this works now. So if your password is correct, it's gonna say welcome to domain. So now we have connected this guy also to our domain, and this is one of the skill that you're gonna come across in interviews, and someone can test you easily by giving you. And somebody did got tested in one of our members. They gave him a domain admin password, everything, like it was like a lab account, and they told him, if you say that you worked as an intern for 3 months, you should have done this part. Go ahead and join this machine to our domain. You got all the access right there, right in front of you. So if somebody don't know this, then you're gonna have a hard time passing that, right? This is just two basics. So we're gonna click restart and restart now. Now, Gulreen, did you know about this stuff? What I'm doing right now?
So, I mean, I'm just I'm trying to understand. I haven't worked on this. Like,
But here's the thing. I mean, I want to ask you a question because you got a job that was kind of like a IT job more than
Correct.
I would say a help desk. But this is something that if, let's say, what would you say? Like if I was your manager, I'd say this is too basic for you to not know, right?
right.
And you will be in trouble then, right?
Correct.
So maybe I'll give you more time to learn, or maybe you'll just get too stressed because the calls are too much. And maybe I might not just give you that opportunity because I think I have too many things going on in my life that I need to run this business, or somebody will fire me. My director will probably fire me because I'm not able to finish things, right? So you can understand the pressure on managers as well. Managers are not bad in IT, by the way. They also have directors. They also have CIOs. They also have CEOs that they have to report to. So if my ticketing system is full of tickets that is not getting resolved, then I have a problem.
Right.
And these are the basic things. If you don't know these things, then the business is stopped basically. Because if right now in this coronavirus situation, if we have to deploy 40, 50 laptops outside, somebody got to know this stuff. And if you didn't know these things, it's going to even take you more time because you're going to do more mistakes, right? You're going to join a computer with a bad name in Active Directory, or you're probably not going to be able to even join it because you don't understand all these connections between these two things. So then you got a problem.
Correct.
Is it common for them to give you a workstation and have you perform some task in it? 100%, yes. All minds. If this is a job that they're going to pay you like $65,000 for a technician level, and they're like, this is like very high-end pace, and everybody's like, relying on you, 100%, I can tell you that people are going to test you technically. I have probably 60% of my members got tested in technical interviews. So it depends where you apply to and where you're going to get jobs, but I'm just not saying that it is like 100% that everybody's going to go through technical stuff, because somebody will give you a job by just liking you. Oh, I like the way Kev talk. I like the way Gulreen talk. Come, man, you look so passionate about IT. I'll just give you this job. But then, of course, after that, the job is going to be pretty stressful. And that's why we're training people. This training is a little different. It's a little weird in a way that we're just talking about our jobs in the meantime. Kev is online and live on his job. And it's just we're doing little weird stuff that you're not going to see online, right?
Right. And I think when we are in our job, we don't have time to go for these trainings. So
yeah, I mean, that's another part, that because you're so exhausted that you just can't learn these things because you're always thinking about tickets tomorrow, right? You wake up in the morning, oh my God, I gotta respond to that inventory question now that they asked me to do, like on machines.
Correct.
Okay, so now we're gonna log in. But guys, is this machine on the domain or is still a work group machine?
I'm gonna click the other users.
But is it on the domain?
Yeah, it's on the domain.
Right. Okay, good. So now you figured it out that this is a domain join machine.
Yeah.
But remember, this is in what? In Canada. And
that's
my
right.
server is in Microsoft, somewhere different world right there. So first of all, congratulations that we were able to do such a tedious thing that I don't like this stuff, right? So it's happening, it's working, we're good to go. So Active Directory kind of starts from here, right? But before Active Directory, I would like to, when I get to this point, when I get to the username and password, I jump from Active Directory to what?
Group policies.
Group policy. Did you say group politics? No.
Policies. I
Okay.
said group. Yeah.
And now these days,
So,
yes, what's in
yeah,
our mind?
when you start the work, then it's changed to group politics.
Okay, guys. So if I come over here, and the reason I like to jump into username and password, because it has to do something with group policy. So I like to give an example to anybody who's listening to me right now. If you're on this screen, and who should I pick on right now? Let me pick on something. Anybody here? How many people are here? Let me see. I want to pick on somebody here. Leila, are you there? I want to see if Leila is here. Or anyone who's available other than my regular people. Bradley, Jerry, who is there? Because these are new people. Okay, maybe they don't want to talk, I guess.
Yes, I'm here. This is Jerry.
Jerry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let me ask you, if this is the username and password right here, and let's say I call you on the phone right now and say like, hey, Jerry, can you tell me how many times, I mean, I tried it 2 or 3 times, my password right now, right? I tried it 2 or 3 times, but I don't remember it. How many times can I apply my password before I get locked out? Because I don't want to get locked out, Jerry. What would you say to that person?
The person has 7 chances, 7 opportunities to enter their password.
Now, how did you know about that 7?
Through the group policy.
Perfect, right there. And how would I find group policy in the domain controller?
So you will go on the.
Hold on, let me ask Jerry first.
Oh, sorry.
So Jerry, go ahead and tell me how would I find that information inside the domain controller?
When you log into the domain controller.
I'm logged in right now. Where do I go? Hey, just saying, if you don't know, you don't know. That's fine. We're not like trying to like kill you right here or something. It's not like, this is just to kind of, the way you answered me, it was like pretty nice, because my expectation from you was that's it, because you already knew about group policy. I'm good to go. If that was your interview question, if I'm not KevTech, maybe KevTech is very hard on these things. No, actually, he's a customer service type of hard. I'm more the technical guy, but I'm not going to be testing you to actually tell me where is group policy here in domain, because that's not part of your job, right? Most likely, right?
Right.
Because that's more of like, if you're going to get hired as a level 1, the one that we are thinking that people are going to hire you as a level 1, people don't test you that much, but knowing about it is even a plus thing. It's another thing, right? You're going above that other person who knows just like you then, right? So how would you compete with other people? And people say, I don't have experience. They're asking for 1 year of experience. This is how you compete with experienced person, because now you're saying that I'm brand new, but look how much I know, right?
Right.
So you see, you're talking sense and you're impressing another human being. So a person who I was doing a resume review, this is where you are impressing another human being. This is what I meant in the comment, that's how you do it. Okay.
Right.
So if I want to show you guys, the first thing you guys should do in a company, because a company will give you a desktop that's ready-made desktop, right? They're going to give you a help desk machine that's already built by another technician for you, most likely, right? So with that, they're going to give you Active Directory already installed, RSAT, right? Administrative tools, right? That's already inside your machine. So even you can do that from your Active Directory or the help desk machine if you have that kind of rights. But group policy is such a big thing that most likely a sysadmin or IT administrator will not give you that level of rights that you can do a lot in group policy, because you could totally destroy the whole network if you mess up the whole group policy. Okay, so let me show you where you're going to find this information very quickly and make your job easy, because you need to know information to tackle reactive questions. So if you are on the call right now, and let's say, Jerry, you passed the interview, but what if you didn't know this? You'd be stuck right now, right? You'd be like, just try it 10 times, maybe you'll get locked out. You cannot say that, right?
Right.
So you got to know this information. And a lot of people who, when you start working in a company, they don't go that detail. So then you learn it the hard way. You learn it when you got a call one time, and then you're like, wow, I just got this call. I have no clue how to answer this question, right? So we're going to go to a group policy management right here. And the easiest way to find out what's happening inside your network is to run a report. It's so easy. You open a group policy management and you do what? You run a report. So let me show it to you guys. So guys, look at this. It's just like Active Directory, right? You're used to this kind of screen. It's like you gotta go down, open a group policy, and usually when you run a domain controller, the first policy that gets created by default is which one? Default domain policy, right? But if you go to the company, they may have tons of policies based on what they are doing in the company. So that is where they don't let a level 1 do these kind of things, because you can totally mess up the whole environment, right? So which setting should I click on? The live training people should really answer me this question, or else I'm just gonna stop JavaScript share and cut it down, and I'm just gonna go home and sleep seriously. You guys should give me this answer.
So Danish, what is your question? Can you please repeat?
The question is, how do I find what is happening in my network? What kind of policies are already applied? Look, I'll tell you what, I can right click and I go to edit. But if I have 500 changes, do you really think I'm going to come over here and click here and then click here and then find oh, what's happening over here? What's happening? No, I'm not going to do that. I need an easy way to find this.
You're gonna do right click. We will run the report.
Okay, let me make it easy for attention.
Is it security filtering, the policy?
Where's security filtering?
This one down after links.
I don't even see that. Where is that?
Okay.
Well, wherever it is, it's not the correct answer.
So we're gonna go on details.
You're so close. You're so close, man. Look at this. Watch this.
Settings.
Watch this. There you go. Generating
report. Yeah.
Boom. In one shot, in one click, I can find out that information. So Jerry, I think you got stuck over here. So the first thing you should do is to go to group policy, click on settings, and look, it's so easy for you to find what's going on in your company by clicking on what? By clicking here on the right side.
Settings. Yeah.
Settings. There you go. So if you right click, look at this. If I go on the right side and I just show all, I can see every single thing in my company that is being applied right now. So the first thing I would do right now is to come down to my Windows settings, security settings, account policies, and there you go. Your answer is right there. So your answers is correct, 7 characters, but where is it coming from? Group policy, and this is the settings that we're talking about. So now you know about what? 7 characters. Now you know about 42 days. These are all questions, by the way, and Kevin can basically verify this. These are all the people that are going to answer these questions. How many days do I have in my password when I reset it? This is a question. How many days do I have left in my password to be expiring and stuff? Then you need more scripting and everything, but I'm not going to go to that detail right now. We already did that in our channel. We have a video on how to use scripts to find this up. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that deep right now. Okay. So you can see how fun group policy can be because you got so much data with you right there now. So if you're a brand new technician, this is my first thing that I teach people, not to take you deep inside the group policy, but look, you already got stuck. Even if I wasn't going through group policy, the first thing you were dealing with what? Username and password, right? As soon as you join the computer domain, the first thing you were dealing with what? A domain username and password. So if somebody was to ask you that question, because that's a brand new person that's taking that laptop in UK and boom, they just got this password change thing in the first time, and that person is changing a password and they're putting ABCDE, 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 and that's not working, right? Or they're doing something totally, like not what we have defined over here. So they can get stuck for hours and hours and hours, and they can do what? They will keep locking themselves out. They'll keep locking themselves out. So of course you don't want to do that, right? So this is why I like to show this information first for your own knowledge. This is what you call a kind of like observing and kind of getting into a company and what should I do? Because a lot of time what newbies are, they're concerned, right? They go to a job and they rely on what they're going to teach you. So why do that when you have ability to actually do your own search too, right? Because that's how we were trained. I landed a job, I'm not sure about KevTech. I landed a job and then every day I'm waiting on a sysadmin, IT engineer, or a director to come and tell me one thing. So it took me 3 years to be like you. After my training, like you could be very quickly come to my position. but it can take you 3 years just be sitting there like a duck and kind of like asking them to teach you. Why do that when you have this, when you create this mentality that you can learn this stuff on your own? Does this make sense to you guys so far?
Yeah.
Basically, my focus is not to teach you something technical over here. My focus is bigger than that. I want to teach you an idea. How can you use your mind to learn things quickly, okay? So here, the first thing we want to do is to find out, we found out the information right here. So let's go ahead and do a little practice right here, because this is something important. Nobody will leave their domain open. So then you can keep applying password, wrong password, wrong password, wrong password, and not get locked out. I have never seen a company does that, by the way. Every company have a lockout policy. As anybody watching and listening to us, they have a no lockout policy. That's crazy, right? Why would that be crazy, by the way? Anyone can give me an answer? If you don't put a lockout policy, why would that be a problem?
Well, because people could use brute force.
Brute force, there you go. Yes, exactly. You can leave a machine, and these days, softwares are so advanced that they can break the passwords anytime. If it's a weak password, they can definitely break it. If they have a very powerful machine, they can put up millions of tries on a username, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to security options, not security options, right? Sorry, I'm gonna go back in here and go to account policies, password policies, and here you go, account lockout policy. This is where they're gonna come, but by default, it's not defined right now, guys, right? So what should we do right here? We're gonna double click on it, and we're gonna have to define this policy, and we're gonna say after 30 minutes, lock this account for 30 minutes, but it's gonna automatically pick the other two for you. So how many invalid times can I try on that machine to get locked out?
5 times.
5 times.
5 times, perfect. So should we do a practice right here? So let's go here. And we know Kev Tech is a employee, and he tried to hack into UK. So let's say Kev Tech is right here, and he's like 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the other thing is okay, maybe it's happening. Okay, guys, so what's happening over here?
It's looking up.
So now, the beauty of today's modern operating systems, they tell you that this person is locked out. Now, back in the days, this was not the case. So people would get locked out, and there's no information. I don't even know, you know, that there will be no information. I will tell you. So is CapTech a part of that? Okay, let me see. I should be logged out by now. You see, the other thing is that, is this policy being applied, by the way? We can try that. I mean, it should be very.
Oh, we need to apply the command. Group.
No, I mean, to be honest, since it's already connected to domain, it should do it. I mean.
Yeah, it's supposed to pull the policy on the machine, and then the machine's supposed to get locked out after a certain amount of tries.
Yeah, I should pull it out right here. Let's see. So the first thing I want to verify is Kev even an employee with us, or he's just hacking. Another thing, right? How do you verify a username? That's another quick. This is a very common it's a common skill. How do you find a user in Active Directory?
Search.
Go to users.
Users and computers.
Well, what if you go to users and you have like 10,000 users in Active Directory? You're not gonna go
search.
Yeah, search.
Yeah. So you should learn the skills of finding users in Active Directory. It's gonna save you a lot of time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to find that machine right now, let's do this practice. Laptop UK. Why am I not able to find that? This is a very common mistake a lot of newbies make.
Well, because we need to try to find it in all devices, or like, I mean, like you have a users, right? So we could change it to the
computers.
Yeah. No.
All right, fine. I can do that.
Okay.
Because it's find computers, but in.
So basically, we are trying to
in.
find out the computer name.
Yes, but why is it not finding? So you're saying, Vilad, this is the problem right here?
Yeah, entire directory, yeah.
There you go. Common mistake. A lot of people make this. They spend like 10 minutes just figuring this out. So when you do these kind of trainings, then you don't do these type of mistakes. So okay, that's good. We have the user right here. We know that KevTech is a part of our thing, so we should be. So this could be two reasons on this, because I feel like either this is connected to the VPN. Oh, there you go. It's working. So there you go, guys. I didn't do any group policy, by the way. I didn't do GP update, nothing. One thing that tells you that this VPN stuff is amazing. It's such a, it's in sync from two different networks. We're not even like in the same network right now. So that's a very common call you're going to get in Active Directory. And because of what it got locked out, guys, give me one simple answer right now. Because of what it got locked out.
Because it's tried 5 passwords and
5 invalid attempts, like
yes,
5 wrong
what is
passwords.
the name? I want to know the name.
Group policy, because of this policy.
Look, listen, always use terms in the interviews. Always try to impress people with terms. Don't just say because of 7 characters, because of the, if you say group policy, if you say Active Directory, I will kill my interview questions with you. I won't go further, right? Mm-hmm. This is how I think about IT. Because if you use the terms, you know you're already talking IT with them, you already impressed them, good to go. So this is why we are training people on group policy and Active Directory, because we want to put this, the live members, how many times I tell you that don't tell me that add this user in a domain controller. Tell me what? Active Directory, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I want to feed this term into your head, because I want you to talk like an IT person. Active Directory. But this is, remember, you're only talking to this with an IT person. You're not talking about Active Directory with the HR manager here.
Yes, that makes sense.
You're not talking that kind of terms with an HR person. HR person, like, what are you talking about?
Well, you're not talking to me. You're talking to me. I'm gonna give you that question.
There you go. Okay, so simple call. You got a call right now. Hey, who should I pick on? Gigi, are you there?
I'm here.
Gigi, pick up the call. Let's do a real. Hey, Gigi. So, first of all, you pick up the call. How would you respond to me?
Well, okay. So
I have to say, well.
No. I was looking for the company name. Never mind. Well, thanks for calling the front desk. This is Gigi. How can I help you today?
I just got locked out, and can you help me with this issue? I just locked myself my account right now.
Sure, no problem.
So what would you do right now?
Well, collect the information. The first and the last name was the person, and then I'll.
So most likely when people call you, right, their ID is on there. Of course, you're not going to ask them what is your first name or your last name on the phone, right? That's just not right? Like you already know. Yeah, it depends which type of environment you're working. So if you're kind of like a technician, that you get calls from very different type of environments, and you don't know about these names, so they have methods, right? They will verify some PIN or something like that, and then you will say, okay, what is your first and last name? But if you're working in a company that's a local company, of course you're not gonna just asking them name while they call you on the phone internally, right? You're just gonna look at the ID, their name is right there. Right?
Gotcha.
Because anyone can then make up a name if you don't look at their ID, right? I'm gonna say, I'm a CEO of the company. Can you unlock my account or give me a temporary password, right? So you're not gonna give that password to somebody just says the name, right?
No.
You have to verify it from the phone. So there you go. You got the call. Where should you go to fix this problem?
Well, I'll go to Active Directory.
Active Directory. So I'll go to my domain controller. Now again, I'm going to domain controller because that's the only machine that we have. Usually you will have a RSAT on your help desk machine that you're doing this. You don't do this on a domain controller, by the way. Nobody's going to give you access to a domain controller in a company like that, right? Let's say 5 technicians are going to a domain controller every day. I'm sure one technician will mess it up, and then you have a whole company down then.
And I think this is the question that was asked to me too. Like, where would you go? Where would you go? So I was like, I'll go to domain controller, and there is, I'm done. Because definitely I could not clear that interview. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So listen, the answer for that is that I'm going to use my help desk machine, and I will be using RSAT. So you see another term that you're throwing on them. As soon as you say RSAT, they're not going to ask you more questions. Why? Because they know that you know a little bit more than just saying domain controller here, right? That's how normal technicians are. Look, even if I'm a sysadmin, I don't log into domain controllers, by the way. I don't do anything on domain controllers. We're supposed to not do anything searching, and kind of like doing help desk kind of calls. We don't do that on domain controller. Domain controller is like a king out there in the network. We don't touch that much, right? Right, Kev? You don't use domain controller for your basic calls, right? You don't just log into the main server like that.
With me, it depends on me. I have access to everything, so it's kind of hard.
No, I mean like as a practice, you don't give this domain controller server rights to anybody. To just every technician logs into their main domain controller, which is your company's core computer, right?
No, we only give them access to specific things. They're not allowed to touch that. It's too much power.
There you go, too much power. Because if somebody messes that Active Directory, then you got a problem, right? Even if it's for a little bit, there are recoveries. There are ways for me to recover it, but that's still a big problem for me. I still have to deal with it, right? So, okay, in this case, let's say this is a RSAT tool. This is connected to your help desk, and this is something we're going to do in future, by the way. But let's say, Gigi, what would you do the first thing for this person for KevTech right now?
Yeah, I'll just right click on his name and then scroll down, go to reset password. And then I'll go ahead and create a new password.
You're going to create a temporary password, right?
A temporary password. And I will unlock the user account at the second check. No. The second check. Yes, right there.
So it should be checked now because it's already locked.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought the opposite.
Now here's the thing. He got logged out and he forgot his password. But what if he says, I think let me give it another try. Would you do this process? He's asking you, let me try another time. I want to try again. Guys, anybody help us out?
I think maybe he's tired or something.
I think I wanna log in again. I think I know my password. So what do you recommend I do?
We give them a chance to try and log in.
Okay, so how would you give that chance in Active Directory right now? Is this the process, by the way?
Well,
I don't think this is the process.
Look,
just need to unlock.
If I have to come over here, I cannot get out of this window by not putting a password in there. Can I?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
So Danish, can you hit cross again? Can you open this one?
Well, I can't do that. I'm stuck right now, guys. Is this the process to give that person a second chance?
Just cancel.
Okay,
no, I don't think it's a process.
So
I think you should let them log in, try and give them another try, and if it works.
How? They're
locked out.
To unlock, just press double press the user.
Wait.
Can I say
double press?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Right click and press properties.
Okay. Somebody knows what they're talking about here. Hey,
so you need to unlock the user.
The live members who are taking this training, trust me, you guys are in a bad situation right now. I'm gonna give you some really hard stuff after this. I'm gonna make sure that you guys are doing your practice.
Okay.
Somebody's lagging right here. Okay. So I'm gonna go to properties now.
Properties, yep.
Where do I go? Account, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's up? You see, attention to detail, guys.
Account options.
Unlock account.
Yeah.
There you go. Apply and okay. That's it. Done. Very small thing, but you're not resetting their password. They say, give me another chance, right? Or somebody could just, of course, what if somebody just changed their password like 2 days ago and they do remember it, but they got locked out somehow? They're not going to change their password again. That's too many changing right there. And people are not going to like that. If you make them do that change, people are definitely not going to like that. They have to change it on the phone, this and this and this. And now people are pissed off. Like, man, I just found a pretty password for myself. And you're like changing me like, again, I got to go, all that stuff. And it creates even more issues. These days, everything is so connected with password. It creates even more issues. Kevin, go ahead.
That is 75% of our help desk phone calls
There you go.
People trying to unlock accounts because they just changed their password. And if you make them change their password, they're gonna scream and yell at you. Just letting you know right now.
Somebody put no need to give second chance when you see that it is locked on our end. Well, I don't know. Like, I just give you an example. Somebody can get locked out for multiple reasons, not just by going to a machine. They could be using an Active Directory authenticated application on the web. So this means that if they are putting a wrong password, a lot of people forget that, right? They're using so many different passwords. They think that I'm using one password, that they'll lock themselves out. But of course, not a lot of people want to change their password if it's not the time for them to change. It's just too much for them, right? You don't want to make look, IT is not about locking people out either. You want to be secure, but you also want to keep that flexibility for your users so then they can easily do their job. If you control people so much and not give them opportunities, then what will happen? People will leave the company, right? You don't want to do that. So, all right, so now I'm going to go here, and the scenario is that I know that KevTech is unlocked right now. He can log in. Let's say he forgot. But let's say this time he did forget, and now he wants you to change the password. So, of course, it's a pretty easy thing. You're going to come over here. You're going to just reset the password, give it to him. He's going to log in and done. That's something I don't need to show you now, right? I did it. I changed it. He can log in. Done. 2 processes, 2 different calls. That's how you do it, okay?
Okay, question for you, Dns. So
Yes.
during the interview, so if you're asked that, okay, what would you do to unlock a user? So we can't say that you have to go to Active Directory. We have to say RSAT. I'm a little confused. I just want to have a clarification on that.
No, you can start with it. Basically, when people ask you, how do you unlock a user? They don't want to go into that detail of RSAT or anything like that. They want to just know, do you know about Active Directory?
Okay.
So you will only say that Active Directory, but don't say domain controller. I will log into domain controller, then I will go to the Active Directory, then I will reset. Don't make it complicated. Just say Active Directory, because they know Active Directory is coming from the RSAT or domain controller. It doesn't matter. You make it more complicated if you tell them that I will log into domain controller like Gulreen did, right?
Got you.
Because she put this thinking in their head now. Whoa, hold on. Why would you do that, right? So now you have made some people like go into so detailed that they like get stuck in something that they cannot get out. So make it more broader level. I'm just gonna go to Active Directory, right click on the user, then I'll go to properties and I'll unlock the user.
And like I said, you don't know how I get calls like this with important people, like really important people, and they don't want to change their password, and they'll scream and yell at you if you have to change their password for them, because they have multiple devices and they're trying to basically keep the same password, and I'm being realistic with that. Don't do that to someone. They're gonna get mad at you. Just letting you know.
Okay, Kev. So my question is, I think no, you're right about it. People will get upset, but when they get locked out, isn't it because they forgot their password? They can't remember it? Because I think you have to have a conversation. Would you remember your password, your last password? You give them at least a chance. But if they can't remember it, what do you do?
If they can't remember it, then we have to reset it.
You have to reset it.
You don't have to change it, but just reset it.
So changing is resetting.
Changing is resetting.
Yeah. So here, let me show you the screen. When you say change, like when we say like he doesn't remember it, right? I have to reset it. There's no change password. Like it's just reset. The change is we're saying it because it seems more like, got
you.
It's reset. There's only one, reset or unlock.
Okay.
So Danish, I have a question. When somebody calls and says that he's logged out of his account, so it means that he remembers his password?
Okay, if somebody says that I'm locked out of account, this could be gazillion of reasons, right? They may have a web application, like let's say Outlook here, and that Outlook may be using an old password. It's cached in there, and this phone is locking them out, right? So that doesn't mean he got locked out on his own, or they may be even putting a wrong password in the beginning. They made a mistake for 5 times. They were thinking something else, and they put like their cat name or whatever. They were just doing that, and they locked themselves out. That doesn't mean that a person needs to change their password because they they got locked out. You got to also do a little bit of research. If they call you, first of all, you don't just unlock people immediately because you think that's a good way to do it, right? What if somebody's hacking that person and you keep unlocking, you're helping a hacker, right?
Social engineering. It's called social engineering.
That person is hacking and you're trying to be a good technician. Oh my God, this person, my CEO is unlocked. I'm going to keep unlocking. And he doesn't, and he's keep trying. And the hacker is keep trying and he's happy. Oh man, this environment is so cool. They're unlocking me. So you see, a lockout has to do something with you're waiting on that person to call you now, right?
Right.
So you got a call, you asked, the person says, I don't remember it. Then what's your option? You have to reset it then.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
That's what it is. Like you have to confirm that it's them too. Like obviously, if they call you, like a call in the office is not the same as a call from a cell phone, like from a cell phone out of the office. So if someone calls you from out of the office, you gotta figure out and confirm that it's them, that it's not just a random person calling trying to do a password reset or an unlock account or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay, guys, let's move on to it. So here's the thing. The rest of the calls are extremely basic, right? This is what you do. As soon as you start working, most of the people teach you this stuff. Why? Because it's a process. It doesn't require too much of a technical knowledge over here. Once you understand it, once you do it one time, they're just going to give you these kind of jobs in the beginning because they know they're not going to test you on a very technical job where there's an error or something you need to fix in the beginning. That will be level 2 or a person who's been in IT for a long time. They don't want to test you in this stuff. So when people ask me, what kind of skills do I need? What kind of experience do I need? If you know this experience, and this is nothing, you guys just saw how so easy this is, right? If you know this stuff, you get a job. Trust me, you will get a job if you know this stuff. It's not that rocket science over here, guys. It's like if you know this stuff, this is what companies expect you to teach you in the beginning. It's a process. So the second thing they're going to teach you, how do you add a group, right? So simply, you're going to go to Active Directory, right-click anywhere, and what? Simple. It's, well, look, am I doing any technical stuff? Am I doing troubleshooting, by the way? I'm not doing troubleshooting. I'm not doing troubleshooting, right? I'm following a process, right? And this kind of stuff is already documented in the companies. You don't just go out there and create your own groups because you like a name. I'm just going to name it Kev Tech and make a group out of my own in Active Directory for an environment, right? Kev Tech will show up in their Outlook and everything. And they're like, what the hell? Who's this? What group is that? Right? You don't do that. So this kind of stuff will be given to you. So it becomes a process. But by you now knowing about it, you are more comfortable on your job. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So you see, if I go to group right now and I create a group, let's say make a distribution, I'm just going to make IT group, right? And I'm just going to click yes. So once I create a group, then Active Directory becomes very powerful. You see, this is why we teach people Active Directory in the beginning, because the rest of your job in IT most likely relies on this stuff right here that you have created. Because you're going to get a call from HR now. What? The next call will be what? We just hired Kev Tech in our company. Can you add him to the IT group? You see, that's how it works, right? You got a user added, and now that user has to be a part of some type of group because that group have certain level of access. So that access can then lead you to what? File sharings, many other things. Maybe software gets deployed automatically. There's a lot. You can think of it. But right now, this is exactly what you do. And basically, you're going to be adding that person to a group. And how do you add a person to a group?
Right click.
Right click. Go to properties.
Properties. And
go to member of.
And we will add a group.
Is this the only way to add a person to a group?
No.
What's the other way?
Command.
Click the ID group properties, and we can add the user into it.
Add to group. Here you go. And you go to properties. You have what? Members. And you can search a member.
Add the member.
In the group, you can search a member. But why you should understand and to go and find members of the group, because as an IT professional, you will at some point get a call that, can you send me a list of the people in that specific group? And how do you find it?
Yeah, so we will open that group and
exactly. Or you will get a call because think about it. How many people leave a company?
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to remove that person from a group, right?
Yeah.
Because these type of calls are generic, not about leaving a company. How many people change departments in the same company?
Mm-hmm.
So it has to do a lot of your technical call, a lot of your level 1 calls. So many you can create just from knowing Active Directory. And Kev can tell you that we got gazillions of calls in Active Directory, and they're all the same. Add it, remove it, change this, add this, reset password. Okay. Somebody says, I just got married. I need to change my last name. How common is that?
Yeah.
Or I changed my, I just became a director of IT. So KevTech became, let's say, a director of IT now. So, okay, you're going to go where now?
Organization. Yeah.
Organization. So why is Active Directory so important here? Because then Active Directory is connected to so many different applications. That application pull the data from your Active Directory, like your SharePoint, like your other applications, like your HR applications. Every single thing is connected to the Active Directory. So when you change something here, it changes over there. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that 99.9% of the companies are using this method, but a lot of people are using it. So even if you know this method, you will be using a different application, you will still be comfortable with it. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So far, guys, we have touched a lot of Active Directory stuff. So my suggestion to you guys will be to open up your own Active Directory in VirtualBox. You have our server accesses. If you want to buy our server accesses, we can give it to you. Of course, it's not free. Or you can, open up your own VirtualBox and install the whole Active Directory. Go to JobSkills Share and type JobSkills Share domain controller. I have about 6 videos on different, and this is the probably 7th one on Azure too. So I feel like there's no way you can not install Active Directory. KevTech has on his channel have a Active Directory on a VirtualBox, I guess, right, Kev? So there you go.
Yep.
You for Active Directory you got too much in there. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do today, I'm just gonna touch up group policy, and then we're gonna end this because we went pretty far, and then we're gonna continue this session. Okay. To more file sharing, because that's going to get too long and too boring at the end. So group policy, I'm just going to show one example just to give you a feeling of group policy, why it is so important and why it is so powerful. And if you know Active Directory and group policy later you should spend like 1 year or 2 years and you become an expert in this area, you can easily make 80 to 90K in US type of areas, because these are the type of jobs you can get in a company by becoming an Active Directory expert or group policy administrator. And you will be making that kind of money just by knowing one skill, but you got to know it pretty good. It's not like, oh, I know how to deploy a software, so I became like an 80K, 90K person, So that's not going to work. Okay. So now moving on to group policy. What we're going to do in group policy, let's say we gave this, we gave this laptop to who? We gave this laptop to KevTech now. So KevTech is going to log in. So our password works, right? I unlocked him, got the password. KevTech is logging on for the first time on this machine. So number one, that tells you that this method is not relying on what? Is not relying on cached password. It is relying on right now. As soon as I change it in Azure, in my cloud, it is immediately taking impact. Usually in the companies these days have this thing going on. A lot of people cache things, but then they call you, I changed my password by mistake and now I'm stuck, right? Those are the problems. And there's no good fix for that. They have to bring their laptop back again, or somehow you're going to connect them. I work at college and we get tons of those requests. There you go. You guys are seeing that people are already working in this environment, and then they're verifying these things. That this is so basic. This stuff is like, you need to know it. So then you do good in interview, but not only that, you do better in your job too, right? So we logged in as KevTech on this machine, but look what happened in there. KevTech logged into this machine and somehow he got Zoom. How the heck that happened?
So it's a silent deployment?
From where?
From over like my machine. Like if I am I have administrator rights, so I can deploy from a domain controller.
Yeah, domain controller. But how did he get Zoom?
He already has a profile set up in Active Directory.
Okay, that's one. That could be a solution, but that's not what's happening over here. Oh, there you go. Capital answered it. So what I wanted to show you guys that group policy is not just by, controlling every single aspect of the machine, that a user interaction. You can control every single thing by group policy. Meaning, if I say I don't want KevTech to right click on this here, like here, I don't want him to move this taskbar, right? I don't want him to move this, like it's locked right now. I don't want him to do this. I don't want him, like this is annoying to me right now. I don't want people to be in my company to be playing around with the taskbar or changing everything that we don't want, or putting, like, let's say some pictures that are not allowed in our company. I can lock every single thing from group policy. But not only that, I can also deploy what?
Software applications.
I can also deploy them. This not okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna be that person. To be honest, this was a normal trend in IT back in 1996, probably, when people would not let you change your taskbar. They will lock your taskbar. They will lock your wallpaper. They will lock everything because they loved it. Oh my God, we got group policy. I love this stuff, man. I want to lock this stuff. I want to lock this stuff. So that was a normal thing. But let's find out, where can I find that software being deployed? So where should I go and find that out? You guys answered it, right? It's in the group policy, right?
Group policy.
There you go. So it's in the group policy. We're going to go over here, and then we're going to go down and find the group policy. We are in the group policy. So where do I go? Now, how do I get into group policy? That was a report right there. How do I get into group policy?
Administrative tool.
No. I am in the tool right now. I'm in the group policy tool. You see that, right?
Yeah.
How do I get into group policy?
We add it.
Good job. So you're going to right click here, and we're going to go edit.
Yeah.
If I go edit, you see a domain administrator or systems administrator can open this computer section and then click here, software, and you can see right here, we have set up what?
So
what do you guys see right here?
Says Zoom
installation file.
Installation file, yeah.
Zoom installation file. But in the group policy, the only problem with this stuff is that it takes only what? .msi file.
Yeah.
It doesn't take exe. You have to convert the exe in MSI. Unless I'm outdated, there are ways to trick this system, but I don't know so far. You cannot just pick an exe from anywhere and just drop it into group policy. It's just going to deny it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for deployment, we have better tools. That's why we teach you Rahal PDQ deploy. Gigi, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
We taught you all those type of skills. But anyways, if people are thinking, can I learn all these skills? You have to take our training, by the way. The training that I'm giving you, by the way, is exactly what I do in my live training. People can verify that right now. Right? Mm-hmm. This is exactly what I do. But of course, that's even more deep, right? We go into more enterprise level tools. So I'm not going to just do that on YouTube, just to open every single tool right there, right? Mm-hmm. So you got the skill right now. You understand that I can add another what? I can go to new, I can go to package. And in the package, this gotta be a shared path. It cannot be like this. It cannot be like if I go to C drive and open the same path, it cannot be like this. It cannot be C./shared. Group policy doesn't work that way. It gotta be a path. Got it? It gotta be a shared network path, because I already did what to this file. That is, why is this working? Because I already
shared
it. If you go to the properties and go to sharing, you see it's already shared.
Sure, yeah.
And I already gave it the permissions right here. You see, anyone can access this file right here. So anybody in my laptop. So here's the guys. The reason I showed this example, and I want to use group policy. Now think about it. If I have to give this laptop to 500 people, do I need to put Zoom one by one into this laptop and then give it to the people?
No.
Yeah.
We can deploy it.
All I got to do is to add this machine to a domain and just send it out to wherever in the world. And if they are using my method, they're going to get Zoom, they're going to get Room, they're going to get Zoom, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay. So that was one example of group policy, but of course you can come over here, you can click on edit. And I just want to show you that, of course, if I get into Zoom, group policy, then maybe I need to make you a group policy expert. I'm not going to do that right now. So of course we touched two things in a group policy. One is a security policy. You touched it, right? You come over here, you go to password policy, you understand where it's coming from. You can change that. You can lock people out by changing these things right here. And then of course you can get into such an extreme detail by just coming to the administrative template. So you can even touch every single thing like control panel, network, printer, server, start menu, taskbar, and the list goes on and on and on. So this is going to be my suggestion to you, is that you play around with these things and break it, make it, and just like beat the hell out of these domain controllers, because in the lab you can do it, in the real world you can't do it.
Yeah.
So my last lab in this session is going to be, okay, KevTech has been going to my domain controller too much and I don't like it. I'm like, man, no, this is not happening. He's going to domain controller and I'm a sysadmin too. He's also an admin and he's messing with my domain controller right now. This is the one that they assigned it to me. Let's just make a scenario. I'm like, KevTech, man, I gotta make sure I basically say, I tell KevTech to make sure you use your own machine. And now KevTech is like, man, how do I make, let's say I make KevTech as an IT person. First of all, how can KevTech have more rights? That's the question, guys. By using a KevTech right here, like if KevTech is a part of my Active Directory, is KevTech a technician? Can KevTech do installations?
We just need to set up a group for him.
You have to do what?
We need to set up a group for him.
Admin group? Or
you have to add him. You have to give him rights.
Yeah.
No setting up group. This is already in there, right? So you don't create it. So you're gonna do what? Add KevTech to what?
Admin. Domain admin.
Yeah.
There you go. So we decided, me and KevTech talked to each other. KevTech said, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna log into the server. I'm not gonna log into the server. We both have to use our own machines right now, right? So how can KevTech now take over that machine and then create an Active Directory type of environment on his machine? That's the last lab. How do we do that? What do we need? RSAT. There you go. Good answer. How do you put RSAT on a Windows 10 machines these days?
So we'll go on
install them.
Apps, applications. We will search for the applications. Yeah.
Go to where?
Apps and features. Yeah, that's right.
Apps and features.
Then we will go to optional features.
Optional features. Oops.
So we have.
Why are you? KevTech is a domain admin. Why is he getting a prompt?
So.
Do we need to update the group policy on his machine?
Yeah. The best way in this scenario is to log him off, log him back on, because some of the group policies are not even going to work with GP update/force.
Okay.
Some of these rights will not even work that way. You even have to restart machines sometimes. So just keep that in your mind. If you're doing like GP/update force and you're like sitting there, why is it not working? You got to restart the whole
restart.
Machine.
Yeah.
So for here, we're gonna relog again. That's somebody super correct. We got some real text in the chat right here, man.
That does happen too when you do shared drive permissions and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to log off and log back in, just so you guys are aware.
And if we're trying to share something and it shows same prompt, we have to again restart.
Was that sorry?
Like Kev told us now, like if you are doing sharing or sharing a drive and this thing again comes up with the password and username.
If it's giving, like, let's say you already gave the permission and you already get the rights and you were in the profile, this means that the policy did not get applied or that sharing rights didn't get applied. So you got to do that reboot to get everything working.
Okay.
So it's not always that happens, right? Look what happened now. KevTech, when I click on option features, I'm not getting a prompt anymore.
Yeah.
So what do I do now? Can I just look for RSAT here? Is it there? Can I find it?
No. So we'll go for the add a feature.
You're gonna go add and feature. So once you do add and feature, what do you do?
We'll scroll down and look
and you're gonna find what?
RSAT lightweight, RSAT Active Directory domain. Yeah. Lightweight, and we will install it.
This is where a lot of people make mistake, right? They will log in as a local user, local admin, and they try to do this. And they will install it, but it will never show up. Active Directory will never come up. Why? Because your Active Directory doesn't know anything about your local admin.
That's right.
So it won't give it rights. But if you have to find this information, how do you find it now? Okay, I'm installing it. Where do I find it?
Window administrative tools.
Good job, man. Rahal, I think you're ready for your interview tomorrow. Rahal has an interview tomorrow, by the way, guys. This is a great practice for you.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Thanks,
Windows
Dave.
Administrator tool.
I'm just trying. Yeah.
But it's not there, guys. What's up?
But we have to wait. We have to wait for some time. For like a little bit time to like.
How long should we wait for this?
Like probably a minute, or after that we can like restart our system. Then when we restart it will show. Are you told us like 10 minutes maybe?
Oh my God! When did I tell you that?
I think so, maybe 10 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds. Sorry.
No, 10 seconds. 10 seconds is done by now. You know.
Yeah. So we can. Yeah.
So
can
refresh.
Refresh. Yeah.
And still, it's not showing up. So
we can restart the machine.
No, you want to wait a little bit more. Let's wait a little bit. But here's the thing about this. You see, something is happening. First, look at the screen.
Yeah.
When you're not seeing something, that's doing what? Silently installing in the background. Right. Just like what happened to Zoom. It got installed, but you didn't even see it. But sometimes in Windows, things doesn't happen the way you're expecting it to happen. Because it's waiting on what?
Approval or something like that.
It's waiting on updates. Most of the time, this type of feature has to do with the security updates. So sometimes if a Windows is not up to date and is required as security updates, then you have to restart the machine. It's going to say, oh, we're updating security updates and stuff like that, and work. And sometimes if it's already up to date, you just do this, and in 1 minute, in 2 minutes, it's going to show up right here. So I'm just waiting for it for a second right now, just to see if there's any updates right now. But by now, it should have showed up. But I'm not sure if it's a little slow or anything. But by now, it should have showed up. Like 5 minutes is this good amount of time for it to like, okay, it's not working right now. So should we go for restart?
I think so.
You guys think that's going to fix it?
Well, 60%.
Okay, 60%. I'd say 90%, man.
Probability. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Throughout my 13 plus years in IT, look at this. What's happening? Windows is getting ready right now. So that has to do something with some kind of update.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Throughout 13 years of my life, I have spent many times 2 to 3 hours and figured out at the end that I could have just restarted this thing and that would have been fixed the issue. That happened to me so many times in my life that you cannot believe that restarting fixed a lot of issues, and especially with the help desk type of job, where the things are tiny, my screen is crooked or it's shaking or this and that or that, something very like totally like you're like, what the hell, man? How do I fix this? Have them restart the machine, and then most of the time it gets fixed, right? I mean, you guys are who is looking in the chat right now? That's what we do most of the time. It's like. Either a plug is not fully connected, or a keyboard has a key that is not, it's like shaking a little bit, and it's like, you know, something so stupid that you just need to restart. Or if it's still not working, I'll show you another technique that nobody can show you this stuff. This is what you do, right? Don't do that. That was just for fun.
You grab the laptop and you drop kick it.
Yeah. Our workplace, if somebody's stuck, I'm gonna like hold the desktop.
All right, guys. So I think we're done for today, but I'm gonna log in and show it to you. But here's the thing: most of the time, when you land a job and you start in a company, another technician like me or KevTech prepare a machine for you, so they already put our set for you, already put that kind of stuff for you. So you see, as a beginner, you already missed so much that you're not confused. How the hell did this machine got so much powers. So now, tomorrow, if you were to become an IT professional, you know now how things were created for you. Does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
And that's how we do things. Now I'm going to log in as KevTech. And from here on, damn, I missed a lot of this teaching. So yeah, I mean, the thing is that in the people in the chat is that a lot of people don't teach that way, right? They just give you the machine, you join the company, and now say, go ahead, open Active Directory. So you missed so much, the core learning, skills learning, that you're just struggling for a long, long time till somebody really teach this stuff from the back. The second problem is that CompTIA will never go back like this because they have time limit, right? You just wanna, they teach you this stuff, they make money, they want you to come back for Network Plus, they want you to come back for Security Plus, they want you to come back for CISA, PISA, KISA, PISA, whatever these certification they have made, and then they make like $3,000-$4,000 from each certification. I'm not saying those are bad certification, those are good certification, but there's no guidance, right? They just give you too much, no starting point.
Too much theory.
Too much theory, and even if too much practical, it's just practical, but too much. Like it's just, there's no end to it. So here you go. You go to the Windows Administrative Tools. And there you go. What do we have?
Active Directory users, computers.
So now from our training, this means that I can run my company in Azure, but I can have 50 people in UK now. And in UK, KevTech can be their technician, or I can be their technician. And that KevTech person have so much power in his laptop now that he can do everything right there without they waiting on me. You see, we can even now delegate access to different technician in different world right now, guys. Does this open up some kind of ideas?
Yeah.
Because a real IT, a real enterprise level people that are deploying these stuff is like this. It's not like you have a virtual box running and you have an Active Directory running and then you're going to do it. It's actually like this, where you delegate access to different type of people. But of course, it gets more advanced. You have more domain controllers, you have read-only domain controllers, and it becomes pretty complex at the end. And that's something, if you can get to that level and you understand this level of information, then to be honest, the next level is too easy for you. So that's what I'm talking about, that 80K to 90K to 100K to 120K, 130K is when you are able to deploy a big solution like that and you're able to troubleshoot solutions like that. They don't give you, that kind of money for just resetting a password, unless you're hired as a very high-level technician for a very high-level people like KevTech. He's a perfect example right here. He worked with very high-level people, and that's not a normal IT job, by the way. I can tell you, he's in front of me right now. I can tell you, nobody get executive-level jobs in IT in the beginning like that. Most of the jobs are basic, and then you move from basic to all the way up. It depends where you want to go in your life, but if you learn this method, honestly, nothing can stop you from learning. So at the end, what I want to tell people that, did you guys like this training? Does it make sense to you guys so far?
Yeah, we love it.
So let's just do a little 5 minutes conversation. If you guys want to talk, you want to ask questions or whatever, career-related questions, people in the chat. If you guys want to do a career-related question, then we can answer. After that, we're gonna go.
I learned absolutely nothing today.
Well, for you, you already do this stuff, But
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's so true. And on the other hand, not even people on the internet aren't teaching this stuff. Well, to be honest, Mac, this stuff requires a lot of time. Look at this. We spend almost 12 hours in last 3 days. So you have to also think about, do I not have a family? Do I not have a kid to feed? Do Kevin doesn't have a family? But it's the passion that is driving us to do this. It's a lot of people that are loving this stuff. But at the same time, there are certain things that I like to tell people that do invest, not with us only. We have the ability to give you a lot right here, and people have invested in this training. People have bought our $1,400 training. It's not a joke. This is a lot of money. But with that, we have given them servers, right? This whole stuff was given to them for 30 days, 1 year of access, practice lab guys, you guys have practice lab, routers, switches, firewalls. Those are the stuff that we gave these people for 1 year. And of course, the servers are 30 days, the one that you guys are seeing right in front of you. So there is definitely investment out there, but I don't like to tell people this kind of stuff, to just come in, we're going to teach you all this stuff and pay with us. Exactly the same thing that I'm training today is exactly what I'm teaching to my live members, and they are a part of my training right now. They are in there. But what they are achieving from this is that they are now revising it. They're doing kind of like a review right now. So I can guarantee you, if these people go to the interview, they will be on a different level. Not only landing a job is not my mission. Landing a job is not my mission here, right? And like I already told you, anyone can land a job blindly. If you go to a job and they like your pretty face, you're going to get a job. I'm telling you, you're going to get a job. But actually performing the job in IT is a mental stress. I have took it, Kevin have took it, and that made us to be where we are right now. We are on YouTube because we feel like there's too much missing. Too much is missing right now. So we're combining the dots right now. So either you can do this stuff for free, like Azure stuff that I did today on Azure level, that's a $200 free trial that Amazon is giving you. So you can do the same process, but if you want to get it to my level that I'm using a 30 GB RAM in this server and everything, of course, then you have to invest that kind of money to that. So that is what I want to tell people, that we're not trying to sell anything here. We're not trying to push people to anything. You want this training, you'll come to us. I'm not even doing marketing to send emails out there. Nobody has any, so far people can come to my platform and just tell me that if I have sent them an email to come and buy my training. No, there's no email. You want it, you come in, you take it. If not, our YouTube channel has so much knowledge that I feel like if we finish our YouTube channels, both of our KevTech, mine, Kubuman, if you finish these 3 channels, I feel like there's no way you cannot land in a level 1 job, not even level 1. You can even do level 2 and level 3 kind of stuff on the job too. So that would be my last comments to you guys. Okay.
The good thing is that we do have the server to do all the practice.
Yeah, that's the live member talk. Who's that, Laila?
Yes.
Yeah, so Laila is
that's the benefit of it though.
So the server that you guys are seeing right now, she can actually do the same process right now with that. But remember, it's 30 days, Laila. You don't want to be too late though.
Yes.
Yeah, Dennis, can I have an extension because mine expired?
Oh my God, you're gonna ask me in the live training to give you extensions? Okay, I'll give you extensions. Now you see, if you do this on the live, then everybody's gonna be asking me for extensions, and if I have new people buying these servers, I'm gonna be like, hey, we don't have servers anymore.
So are you giving me an extension? So it means that I can have an extension for the live.
Hey, Blanca already gave you an extension. Let's
No, you have never given me an extension.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Let's not make it. The reason I say yes or no, because listen, if somebody buy these trainings, we have to give them, they have the rights for it, right? They bought it for certain dates, right? So I'm gonna look into it. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Denise.
They put me on the spot, right? You see, right now in the chat, they said to put you on the spot right now. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, Danish. Thanks, Kev.
Yeah, thank you, Danish.
Everybody,
again.
We will continue this process. But of course, KevTech, check his channel out, because let me show you guys his channel right now, because he's doing something pretty cool right now. Let's do this right now, because then it makes more sense, because our videos are very long, right? So if you go to his videos, this right here, this video was kind of like a response, right, KevTech?
Yep, it's a response video from the video we made a couple of days ago.
Exactly. So if you watch this type of videos from him, then it's smaller video. It's exactly targeting the same thing. So this way you learn very quickly again. Okay. So do subscribe to him, do subscribe to us, and thank you guys. I'm gonna go sleep right now. I think I'm not waking up for next 5 days. This time I'm not waking up. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Okay. Thank you guys.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah. Peace.